Betrayal is the story of Dan, a young man who's recently released from prison and he's trying to leave his past life behind. As the story progresses, we find Dan needing money to keep enjoying his life out of prison. He inevitably falls back into a life of crime, trying to make ends meet. The story culminates with Dan losing everything, owing vast amounts of money, which results in him getting killed.
Synopsis: Dan gets out of prison after serving a short-term sentence inside after his friend Johnny set him up. He gets out and meets up with his old friends, but doesn't want to get back into the criminal lifestyle. Whilst out of prison, he enjoys freedom too much and has to find a source of income, so starts selling drugs again. Dan quickly makes a lot of money, but the people working for him, his friends, start to mess up and Dan gets angry. The story develops with Dan acting violently towards his friends and losing them. Dan is now alone and falls into heavy drug taking and loses his home after owing a dealer lots of money. He gets killed by the dealer after being hunted down.
3-act treatment. Act 1. Dan, the protagonist, gets out of prison and begins to get used to life in the outside world without falling back on his old criminal ways. Act 2. Dan's freedom starts to cost him, so he begins to sell drugs, falling back into his previous life of crime, building a big drug ring. Although Dan's friends aren't as cut out for this as him and begin to make mistakes, causing Dan to break. Act 3. His violence causes him to lose his friends and spiral into taking hard drugs from his own supply, leading him to lose everything, including his home. Dan is hunted down by the criminals who helped him start his business and eventually killed by them in the streets.
Characters: Dan, the protagonist, young man in his early 20s looking to turn his life around after being released from jail. Johnny, antagonist, Dan's best friend, who's also a drug dealer. Johnny tries to bring Dan back into a life of crime. Darius and Jordan, extras. Johnny's henchmen, both lack intelligence, are often funny but are deadly when necessary.
Allocated roles. Charlie will be the director and cameraman. Joe will be the actor and plays Dan. And Brandon will be another actor who will play Johnny.
Film name meaning / origin. Our working title is going to be Betrayal because our protagonist gets double crossed by the antagonist. The Oxford Dictionary meaning of betrayal is located here on screen. Definition of betray in English: expose one's country, a group or a person to danger by treacherously giving information to an enemy.
Marketing. Poor marketing would be probably the best form of marketing for our film, as it is relatively inexpensive and utilises the power of the internet. We would use social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter and focus our advertising for a UK audience. Due to our film's low budget, it would be unlikely that we'd be able to utilise push marketing to have the same advertising impact as pull marketing.
Target audience. Our target audience will probably be people who could relate / understand the situation our protagonist is in. The audience will probably be aged between 16 and 30-year-old males living in Britain, particularly in the poorer areas. It is also possible that people older than 30, as well as living in wealthier areas, could also enjoy our film. It is also possible that our film will appeal to an international audience who have an interest in British crime genre.
Age classification of our film. The feature-length film would most likely be classified as an 18 due to the nature of the content. However, the classification for our trailer will be cut for a general audience, as the trailer will be viewed online to reach the greatest possible audience. The British Board of Film Classification, BBFC, use this guideline when deciding whether a certain film is an 18.
Influences. Bullet Boy. Protagonist gets out of prison and at the end of the film, he gets killed. And Startup. Young man who's trying to stay out of trouble in prison, but he inevitably does get into trouble.
Postmodern elements. Non-linear. The trailer will begin with the ending of the film, Dan getting chased by the drug dealers he owes money to, and then showing him released from prison a couple of weeks earlier. There will also be intertextuality. The slogan of our film is paying homage to Bullet Boy, suggesting that they're in the same universe.
This is the storyboard for the first part of our film.